Here I am today in Slater Chemical with Denny Cable. Denny, when did you join the fire department?
May 3rd, 1966.
And why did you join?
My father was a member before me. My brother was a member of Beacon. My uncle was a past chief in Beacon.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. What was your most unique experience as a member here? Probably a lot of them.
Yeah.
But if you could just pull out one, that'd be great.
54 years, almost 55 years, you have quite a few experiences. I mean, we had some major fires, if you're talking about firematics. A couple of automobile repair places.
Okay.
And then mostly in Beacon on mutual aid. Back in the day, we were down there, it seemed like every other week with major fires back before they rebuilt Beacon.
Okay. What was the biggest fire you ever fought?
That would probably be the one in Beacon, Lloyd Lumber on Main Street, Beacon.
Do you remember what year it was?
I don't, but
Okay.
I was chief at the time, so it would be between 1982 and 1986.
Okay. What was the most serious incident you ever participated in?
Back in the early days when I first joined, I had a death just down the road here at the end of Old Glen Road in a fire. We had another one on Red School, or on Greenwood Drive, Beacon Hills.
What is the biggest difference you have seen in the fire department from when you joined until today?
Training.
Okay.
I would say training is the biggest difference. To give you an example, one of the first fires I went to when I first joined here was a house fire over in Glenham Park. And when I got there on the truck, I'm a rookie. The chief says, grab this line, stick it through the window and spin it around. That was my training back then.
Wow, wow. That's incredible. What difference have you seen in the equipment during your membership? Like what was like the turnout gear like and the tools you used?
Huge difference, huge difference.
Do you remember your first turnout gear?
First turnout gear, we didn't have turnout gear. It was all on the truck. We had turnout gear, but it was not individual turnout gear. So you jumped up on the back of the running board, climbed up onto the hose bed, reached over the side. On the railing, they had turnout coats, boots, and a helmet on a hook. You grabbed the helmet, took a turnout coat, and the boots were lined up from small to large. So you tried to grab one that was about your size.
So if you got there first, then you were okay, right?
Today they have all the Gore-Tex and all of that, you know, it's Nomex and all this. We didn't have any of that back then.
Well, I guess the fires wasn't as intense back then as they are today. Would you say that?
Well, I would say they were intense back then, yeah. We have more fires back then than we do now. But, you know.
But as far as...
There's a lot of fire training goes involved with, you know, we have drills at the school, you know, fire prevention, and a lot of that I think goes into it. People get more educated.
Okay, what is the difference have you seen in the apparatus from when you first joined till today?
Well, when I first joined, we had a 1955 Ford front-mounted 500-gallon per minute pump. It had 1,300 gallons of water in it. No power steering, no power brakes. And our second due engine was a 1960 American France. That was a 750 pump. That had 500 gallons of water on it. More hose. That was our second due engine to lay a line in. And today you're running 1,500 gallons per minute pumps. It's a huge difference.
But when you saw that
cabs, you got 7-man cabs. Back then, like I said, you jumped on the running board, and that's where you got the fire on the running board.
Do you remember when they stopped you from riding on the running boards?
I don't, but the first thing that they did was they came with jump seats on the side of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
We got into a jump seat, so you hold a couple guys in there. Then they outlawed those also. So,
Were they enclosed or were they?
they were not enclosed, but you know,
Yeah.
it was like a little cubby hole you got into. It was
Yeah,
a
I'm
seat
looking
in it.
too. Okay, what firematic ranks have you held over the years?
I've been up to chief. I was chief for 4 years.
How about your dad? Was he a chief?
My dad, no, he was not.
Okay,
But my son was.
okay.
My son Jeff was chief.
How about your grandpa? Was he in it at all?
No.
No?
No, my uncle was chief in City Beacon. My grandfather, he was dead before I was born. So
That's
I
how
didn't
they
really
hit
know
it.
him.
Yeah. How about administratively? Have you held any positions administratively?
Yeah, I was vice president and president.
Incredible. How about any county? Have you held any county positions or?
No, I did not.
Did you belong to the
I
Dutchess?
had enough here.
Okay. Anything else? What do you think is killing the fire service today?
What do I think?
What do you think is killing the fire service today? You think any? You know, why is membership down today? You think?
Work locations, I would say, is the biggest thing. You know, people just don't have the time anymore. Most people around are commuting. You have a lot of commuting around here now, but it's like that all over. There's a lot goes into it. Like I was saying, training, and I'm all for training, but there's so much training now that people just don't have the time to put into it. And then, you know, they have families, you know, to worry about. But there aren't too many people that work in their backyard anymore. You know, like we used to have Texaco up here. We had it made because we had, you know, half a dozen people who were getting released when the fire alarm went off. Today, people are working in New York City, they're working in Pennsylvania, they're working in Connecticut. Tough to keep people.
Was there a lot of members here that worked in Texaco back in the day?
Quite a few, yeah, over the years, yeah.
How about what other big businesses, you know, supported the department by letting their guys go?
You had IBM, but not too much around this, you know, our district.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had the prison, but those guys couldn't get out. You know,
Really?
firearms.
Wow. Yeah.
But there were a couple businesses like NNS. I say NNS up there, and that was plumbing supply. We have a couple guys that used to come out of there all the time. In fact, our most recent fast chief works there and still gets out. He's a deputy chief now.
That's great. That's great. All right, Danny, I thank you.